Welcome to Mirror Domains Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines, and indeed this is the weekly roundup show where we talk about all the trending horror movie news headlines of the week, plus trending movie news headlines of the day. We're going to put these two shows together on Fridays from now on. It's just not getting the views on the weekend, despite the fact that YouTube's analytics say that most of you guys are on Saturday, but nobody shows up. So it's kind of like, well, I do want to cover the horror movie news. We're just going to move it to Fridays and then do it like we're going to do today. We got some topics to talk about with Beetlejuice 2, casting news, big announcements there. We're going to be taking a look at Welcome to Derry, the It prequel series, The Last of Us Season 2, is going to be on hiatus. Oh no, say it isn't so. But we start off today's show by taking a look at the sequel to The Platform. Netflix announces The Platform sequel, reveals first look. Now, I actually really enjoyed the first Platform movie. Just to give you a quick synopsis. I know it's boring, but hey. So basically what happens is that a bunch of these prisoners are in this big tower, and this platform comes down every day. This levitating platform that's got a bunch of food on it, and you're allowed to eat as much food on it as you want. As the platform goes down, it gets less and less food on it, so it's kind of like that's not good for the people in the lower levels, right? It was very haunting. I think it was Spanish. It was a Spanish film, right? Maybe we'll do a full live watch along once this thing gets going. So I really enjoyed it. Very horrific, very surreal third act when you get into kind of like, well, you get moved around on the levels too, right? So sometimes you might be on the really low level where you won't have any food, and it's kind of like you're starving. What do you do, right? And it's just like pokes at all those morality kind of things, and I really enjoyed it for that aspect. So the Platform sequel reveals first look. Streaming giant Netflix revealed our first look at the sequel to the Spanish science fiction horror Platform. What the heck are you doing here? So here we go. Our first look at the Platform 2, or I don't know how it's going to be, because I'm just trying to remember exactly what the heck happened at the end of the first one. It was very, very surreal. It goes into like kind of like 2001 Space Odyssey kind of thing, right? Like far out there idea kind of thing, right? So here's our first look. I guess these will be the first two people that will be following this time around on the, well, that's pretty much what it'll be, right? It'll be another two people that have to try to survive in this tower and maybe try to hatch a plan of escape. Here's our first look at the Platform. Once again, directed by Galder Guitsuru. So same director as the first one, so that's cool. I like what I'm seeing here. I do. Arglass says Beetlejuice. Yeah. Horrific watch along, eh? Yeah. Let me just see if I can pull up the Platform 2 here on IMDb. See if I got that. It says it's going to be a TV series here on IMDb. I don't believe that. It's going to be a series? Did I not see that in the better of this? It's the sequel. Platform. So there's a mysterious project. The sequel will take us back to the dystopia. The Platform sequel below. I'm not seeing series in here. Let's make that a little bit bigger. The story is far from over, teases the caption alongside the images, which find two people at large, a large man and a small girl trapped in a concrete wall cell. Okay, so plot details. Well, the plot details I just pretty much told you is going to pretty much go over the same events of this first film, but it's going to be kind of like different people. And it is sort of like, it's got shades of Squid Game in there, I remember, because these people volunteer to be there for a certain prize. Right? If you can endure, then you'll get like things wiped out, like your credit and stuff like that, your bad credit or whatever, your debts. The Platform was critically acclaimed. So are you ready for the next course on the Platform? And we also know that we're getting a sequel to Bird Box. Yes, but as far as here, I'm just seeing TV series, and I'm not Maxine. I don't think this is it. TV series, no, it's not. No, this is not it. That's definitely not it. So IMDb doesn't have an update on that. Sorry, but we'll keep our eye out looking for that. First look images at the platform too. I'll be looking forward to that. Yeah, we can talk about a little bit of the Bird Box sequel. There's a trailer that dropped for that. What was it called? Bird Box Honduras or something like that. Barcelona. There we go. Bird Box Barcelona. Sequel is set in the same world, but just in a different place. So it's taking a page from the A Quiet Place, right? Where it's kind of like where the Quiet Place spinoff Day One is just like it's in the same world but in a different spot, right? So Bird Box is doing the same kind of thing in Barcelona, where it's not going to have Sandra Bullock, which is kind of a bummer. I do like Sandra Bullock. I don't think Diego Calva is going to be in it. We just saw him in that atrocious Babylon movie last year that was a complete box office bomb. Hopefully he won't suffer the same fate. Well, it's a streaming service. July 14th, 2023 in Barcelona. So no release date just of yet for the platform movie. But yeah, very curious. Good movie too, Platform. If you haven't seen it, I totally recommend that you go out and check that out. All right. Why can you see that upper tab? You shouldn't be able to see that. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit raw today, guys. I just don't. I'm mulling over it right now. If I should just put like our topics in the bar here. I could put the topics in the bar here because for some reason people prefer talking head videos and putting like the topics along the side here. I know it's good to see what else is coming up and stuff, but it's kind of like you got to change things up every now and then, right? To see if people are going to follow along. And plus, if I put the topic, just like the topic title in the bar here, I can cut it out later. And I think it's better for the YouTube algorithm that they can, like the image reads that this video is about this topic kind of thing, right? Yeah. Christopher, have you done a trailer reaction to the Meg 2 movie trailer? We talked about it. I was going to cut it out and put it on the side, but it was kind of like, I didn't really say all that many good things about the Meg 2 trailer. And with trailer reactions, one of the things is that people just want confirmation bias. So if I'm on the wrong page of the consensus, then I get bombed, right? So it's kind of like I think a lot of people liked the Meg 2 trailer. I was just kind of a little bit meh. So there you go. All right. Let's get into the big story of the day, the Beetlejuice 2. Beetlejuice 2 had some big casting news that that Jenna Ortega and Tim Burton are coming back, going to be working together on Beetlejuice 2. Michael Keaton's going to be back, but we got some more casting. And we got a release date as well. Beetlejuice 2, Monica Bellucci joins the sequel as the wife of Beetlejuice. So, obviously he survived the sandworm attack, and she's going to be playing the wife of Beetlejuice. I didn't think that she would have that range, Monica Bellucci. I really didn't think that she would. But it depends. It's Tim Burton, right? You know who could possibly have that range? Maybe Catherine Zeta-Jones. But anyway, I digress. I got nothing wrong with the casting. It's just I better see her all done up like this with the makeup and the ghoulish kind of fare to her. Although, he liked Lydia. He wanted to marry Lydia, right? Is that it? Who was fairly normal looking. So maybe he just gets infatuated with her and they get married or something. I don't know how that's going to factor into the cast. Monica Bellucci has joined the long-awaited Beetlejuice 2 as the wife of Michael Keaton's devilish ghoul, Beetlejuice. So this is coming out 2024, guys. It's officially in the it's got a release date, and rumors have been coming for years. I'm just trying to scroll down to the bottom of the page. September 6th, 2024. it's by the same writers as the guys who did the Wednesday series for Tim Burton. So they've reteamed with Burton for this, and Jenna Ortega is going to be playing the daughter of Winona Ryder, who's also going to be in this movie. So that's good news. That's really good news. What do you guys think about this? Meg trailer was eye candy for the uninitiated. I fell for it too, hook, line, and sinker. But we are initiated here. Aren't we, Bruce? Theatricality and deception. Powerful agents to the uninitiated. Okay, so yeah, Justin Theroux is also going to be in this. Winona Ryder, Monica Bellucci. Yeah, so the IMDb page is filling out. That's good. Justin Theroux. Yeah. I'll just see how this pans out. They're still going forward, and it sounds like everything's ramping up. So it seems like this is going to be a project that's not going to be hampered by the writer's strike, which does give me a little bit of pause, because every time you start a project, you work on it, and you'll need like a little bit of like tweaks here and there, and you're not allowed to do that to the script while there's a strike on, because that's like against the rules, right? Which also prohibits people from ad-libbing. You're not allowed to ad-lib a scene. If it's on the page, that's what you got to deliver. You can't work with the scene, which is going to affect things like this, because I'm sure that Michael Keaton ad-libbed a bunch of stuff into it. For sure. Just like, look at him there. He's just like letting his imagination flow into this character. And it's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky. I hope they get that writer strike settled so that, they don't have to be hampered by any kind of restrictions like that. Curious, man. As I said during the week when the Winona Ryder and a release date were announced, that Michael Keaton's making these this this last run with characters that he's revisiting, and I got no problem with that. With the Batman and the Flash next month, and now he's going to be going back to Beetlejuice 2, kind of like an extra lap around the field after you won the race kind of thing, like waving with all these fan favorites kind of thing, right? That's cool. I dig that, man. Monica Bellucci playing the wife. Fascinating casting. Really fascinating. All right. Guys, let me just tell you what's going to happen on later today. We're going to continue on with some horror movie news headlines here, and then about halfway through, we'll go into normal movie news headlines. And at 1 p.m. today, guys, 1 p.m., we will be watching The Mother with Jennifer Lopez. I should have pulled up that IMDb. The Mother. It was brought to my attention. I totally forgot about it. We were going to watch Black Widow this afternoon, but on Netflix, The Mother has dropped, and we are going to be watching this film at 1 p.m. today. And I hope that you guys can come around and join me in watching The Mother. I am a J-Lo fan. The synopsis reads, while fleeing from dangerous assailants, an assassin comes out of hiding to protect her daughter she left earlier in life. Yeah. So she hides out in the woods trying to protect her daughter, and some bad guys come to try to get her, and, she's going to throw down. She's going to take them out. Sounds like a decent action flick, at least in my books. Omari Hardwick. Do I know? He looks familiar for some reason. What else has he been in? Kick-Ass Army of the... Oh, yeah, Army of the Dead. That's where I recognize him. Oh, yeah, he's the guy. Why is it... What? He's blurred out there in the background. Come on. Okay, there we go. Yeah, he was one of the guys that was near the end that gets... Doesn't he get trapped in the safe or something? Yeah. So come join us this afternoon at 1 p.m. And if you have Netflix, I'll be happy to have you come join me and watch The Mother, Jennifer Lopez. All right. What's next? The Damning of a Country Merchant, Mackenzie Davis and Peter Skarsgård star in 1910 horror film. Mackenzie Davis. I do like her a lot. I just watched somebody's reaction of Blade Runner 2049, which I still believe is a masterpiece. She was awesome in that. Small role, but very effective. And I want to see more from her for sure. There's just something about her look that I appreciate. So Peter Skarsgård has signed on to a twisted horror film by The Damning of a Country Merchant. Country Merchant? So it's a period piece? Okay. So, it's set in 1910 Indiana and centers on a patriarch of a rural mercantile family, Skarsgård, okay, whose way of life is suddenly disrupted by a charismatic industrialist who has entered into a secret affair with his wife, Davis. Okay, so Davis is his wife and has an affair. When rising tensions mistakenly lead to the death of the customer, his wounded authority and masculinity leave him vulnerable to truly bizarre and horrific forces causing unimaginable chaos and terror. So they accidentally kill someone, basically, out of spite, I suppose, because he had an affair. The customer had an affair with his wife. Well, of course, man, you gotta throw down. You can't kill the person, but I mean, you gotta set the guy straight for poking his nose around where it shouldn't be, right? Yeah. But in the 1920s, it says here, a mischievous tale about a grifter who finds herself embroiled in the world of spiritualism in New York City. Huh. Fascinating. Release date? Nothing just yet. Filming is would be filming it in the state where it's set in. I'm not getting a release date. Not in this article. Go over to the IMDb. In development. Wow, you don't even have the cast listed there. I guess it's still fairly fresh. So, hot off the presses. Damning of a Country Merchant. Yeah. Chris Ober says, do you think Beetlejuice will get revenge on Winona Ryder character in Beetlejuice 2 sequel? He's going to try to. I'm guessing that's going to be the backbone of the plot. That he'll want to have some kind of a revenge for almost getting married and then getting eaten by a sandworm there, right? So, and you know those sandworms are going to look crazy with all the updated visual effects. The eyes are going to be like googly and stuff like that. That's Tim Burton's flair. Yeah. What's next? There's Something in the Barn. Images offer first look at holiday horror film. The first image from holiday horror, There's Something in the Barn, compared to Christmas classics, has been unveiled. Okay, so There's Something in the Barn is being described as an ambitious artistic bridge between American classics and Norwegian mythology. That is like Gremlins meets Home Alone and Christmas Vacation. It follows a typical American family who inherits a farm in the Norwegian mountains and crosses paths with a tricky creature from Nordic folklore, the barn elf. Barn elf. So I'm getting shades of maybe leprechaun here a little bit, right? The family must avoid incurring the wrath of this gnome, like Santa, by Ishawing. All the bright lights and loud noises and making sure to leave a bowl of porridge on Christmas Eve. So it's got some flair in there. So I guess this is going to be the gnome, the Santa gnome that attacks the family, and they got to leave a bowl of porridge for it. First image. Isn't that shocking? Oh my God. Yeah, not really. It is what it is. I really wish these pages would stop freezing on me. But we must move on to Welcome to Derry. Andy Muschietti shares first image from the set of the It prequel series. It feels like we talked about this last week, but we talked about it at length during the week. Clint Bowers, Andy Muschietti on his social media Instagram page shared that image. Welcome to Derry. And this one is still full steam ahead. He's the director of the Flash movie. He directed the It movies. So he's going to be directing the pilot episode for Welcome to Derry, which is about like the season before Pennywise attacks the kids, right? 26 years or something like that before, where it's going to be about the father of Henry Bowers, Clint Bowers, when he's chief of police, because he was, right? They did say that in the book. Or in the show, I just kind of like, I'm paused yet because they still haven't announced who or what capacity Pennywise is going to be in this, or like the monster, if he's going to even be the clown. But we know from the movies that he was the clown back in the early settlement times, right? Wasn't he? Like they showed pictures of him. So we'll have to see. And the IMDb page still does not have Bill Skarsgård signed on. So it's kind of like, if they do something as audacious as, oh, there is a monster in the town, but we're not going to ever see Pennywise, that would be a mistake of monumental proportions. Because we know what he looks like, right? Could he? Yeah, I know he takes on other forms as well. It's just fans are liking this image in the comments section, right? Welcome to Derry. Ooh, Andy, we're all ready to float. Love Derry. So yeah, most people are digging it. I don't recognize most of that language there, so it is an interesting image. I think this is just a set worker here. This is not a live set. They just wanted to show that this is going to be a character in this. Welcome to Derry. Cool, man. Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know why things are freezing up there. Guys, I told you to stop. I don't know. Something like I did an update, and ever since that update, pages have just been so slow to load. And I opened up all these tabs. All right. Enough with that page then. I need this page though, guys. Like I'll show you what's happening. It's just white. And I opened up this page a long time ago. Yeah, come on. Last of Us season 2 was preparing to audition actors for the new season, but due to the writer's strike, it's now on hold. We did full live watch-alongs for the first season of The Last of Us. I thought it was a pretty good show. I really enjoyed it. Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey had good chemistry. I can't wait to see where it goes next, even though I have an inkling as to where it goes because of game spoilers that have been out for a while. I'm just curious to see how they're going to handle that, because it's going to be a Grogu situation here, guys. At the end of season 2 of Mandalorian, Mando and Grogu went separate ways. So it's kind of like, basically Kathleen Kennedy came in and said, well, no, you can't, because they're a big part of the show. They are the show. Favreau had plans that Mando was just going to go off and do his own thing now, right? So if you split these two up for season 2 and you make one of them go away on a more permanent basis, then I don't know how fans are going to react to that. So it's kind of curious. I want to see how it's executed. And apparently there's rumors that they're going to split season 2 up into 2 or 3 seasons, or sorry, the second game into 2 or 3 seasons. So there's that. But they were just getting ready to cast, like, for fill-in people in the backgrounds and stuff like that, for side characters to show up. And because of the writer's strike, they're going to pause The Last of Us Season 2. Bummer, man. Yeah, which is why, again, I hope Andor got paused. Andor had all of its scripts done, but the showrunner said that no, I stand with solidarity with the writers. That we're gonna shut down Andor, and Rings of Power still seems to be fine, but they're shooting over in the UK. So yeah, updates suck. The memory from your PC, yeah. But I did everything. I updated my PC. I do. There's something with the Chrome browser for some reason. They've added a new thing in there where it's kind of like uh, it keeps certain pages closed down until you click on them, and then it tries to reload them to try to save memory. But ever since they've done that, I've been plagued with moronicism. Anyway, we'll just go over to Bloody Disgusting and see if there's any other big horror movie news headlines, and then we'll switch over to the normal movie news headlines here. Because I think that pretty much covers everything. I know that there was the Meg 2 trailer that dropped. Yeah, and as I said, I didn't really feel all that good. Evil Dead Rise comes home this week along with 3 horror movies. Yeah, you guys know how I felt about Evil Dead Rise. Some people think that it's one of the better horror movies of the year. I don't think so. Bittersweet Symphony, Scream 2, music supervisor reveals song that almost ended the film. Cancelled. The first look at Swedish ghost hunting horror film. We'll take a look at that article. Yeah. Swedish. We've watched some Swedish stuff here with The Troll, right? Cancelled. The first look at Swedish ghost hunting horror movie. Wow, that's a really small article, guys. Cancelled. First image is above. Okay, yeah. Well, we took a look at it. The details. The story is about a group of ghost hunters who have an online show covering paranormal activities where they have been exposed as frauds. But when they visit the notorious Raven Castle, they find something truly horrifying. So yeah, if you follow like a bunch of those paranormal activity people that do like, we're going to the forest overnight and there's going to be some weird noises, it's so easily that you can say, yeah, it's fake. It's just some squatter out there or something like that. But that's a weird spin that they're actually using that, and they go to this place and something happens. Cancelled. Very interesting. Swedish ghost hunting horror. That one catches my eye. What's next? See if anything else jumps out at me. Haunted. Okay. The Haunted, spine-chilling real-life paranormal franchise. The creator, Amnesia, delayed again. The Bunker, that's a video game. Just looking for anything that jumps out at me. Hypnotic. CW has canceled The Winchesters just after 1 season. Never watched it. Out Come the Wolves. Backcountry director's new survival horror film begins production. I watched Backcountry. That was filmed here in Canada. I think up in either in Killarney or the Okanagan, not the Okanagan, the Algonquin area. And it's basically 2 people that go off path, they get lost, and a bear is out there that, wants to have a little snack. Backcountry. It was fairly haunting. Out Come the Wolves. So he's continuing on with the same woods theme, right? Animal theme. Okay, so in Red Deer, Alberta, it's going to happen this time. Comes Out of the Wolves. Give me a synopsis here. Out Come the Wolves follows a woman, Missy Peregrine, who begins who brings her fiancé to schedule deep cabin in the wilderness to meet her male best friend. That sounds very much like the first movie that he made, Backcountry, because it was a man and a woman. They're just uh, recently married, I think, and then they go on like a trip out into the woods or something, or he's going to propose to her out there or something like that. And he goes off the path and they get lost. So it sounds very, and they come across a person out there too who is very questionable. So it's almost like the same setup I'm getting here. While tensions are there, tensions between the two men rise prior to them setting off a deer hunt that descends into the dark side of the nature, leaving them a truly terrifying trail of horror. A truly terrifying trail of horror. That's a lot of T's in there. Adam McDonald. Okay. Well, so it's going to be much more of a psychological thing. It sounds like it's not going to be like when the bear scenes in that were actually fairly horrific when it was like sniffing around the tent and stuff like that. Very creepy stuff. Out Come the Wolves begins production. Glenn Danzig, Death Rider in the House of Vampires, heads to Cannes. He made a movie? Danzig? Huh. I didn't know that. I thought it was Daryl Danzig. I guess maybe on Verotica brought his vampire spaghetti western Death Rider in the House of Vampires to select theaters in 2021. It's coming to Cannes this month. Okay, so it's something that he's had for a while in his back pocket, and he's finally got some exposure for it. Devon Sawa plays the title character, and he can play really grim characters. There was a movie that's on Netflix where he plays kind of like a vagabond that comes across a family in a cabin, and he does terrible things to them. Yeah. Kim Director, she's in this. Hey, she was the only one of my big reasons why I liked Blair Witch 2. And Julian Sands. Julian Sands was the guy who went hiking and got lost up in the woods, and I think he's been pronounced dead. He was in the Warlock movies. Did we get confirmation that he's like he was gone for like weeks, and this was like a couple months ago, and they still haven't found him. I'm sure he's done. He's realistic about the search for his actor 3 months after his disappearance. So he's either just gone off into the woods to live by himself, or he's trapped under. Well, the snow should be gone by now. He's been eaten, torn apart by animals, maybe. Gross, terrible, awful. I did like him as an actor. It sucks, man. Anyway, we digress. Who else? Kim Director. We were looking up. Kim Director is going to be in this, right? She played the goth girl in Blair Witch 2. If you like Blair Witch, I do like her. I'm going to pull up the images. It's just if you hit the images tab on Google, sometimes if they've got nude shots, it sometimes shows up. So there she is. Yeah, Kim Director, Blair Witch 2. Yeah, she played like the goth girl in that. That's why I like goth girls. I want a goth girl. If my quest for Taylor Swift ends in folly, then a goth girl it is. Death Rider. Glenn Danzig film. A spaghetti western with vampires. Fairly interesting. All right, so we went on a little trip there. That Julian Sands headline just dissolved. Hope he's okay. Well, you would think that if they found him, they would report that he was found, right? Chris Schober says, yesterday I heard that Jenna Ortega and Tara, one of those characters, are going to be replaced for Scream 7 for Sidney Prescott's character. It's rumored that. Well, Um, yeah. All right. I'm running a little bit late on the horror headlines here because we got sidetracked there. That's pretty much all that there was, because things are coming around here. Platform 2, Beetlejuice 2, Dan Stevens joins the cast of a Universal monster movie from Radio Silence. So that's a bit of a new one. We talked about that cast. The guys who did the Scream movies are doing an untitled monster movie with Melissa Barrera and an actor from Matilda the Musical. But Dan Stevens joins the cast. He's good talent. Dan Stevens. He was in The Guest, but he was also on Downton. And he was in that live action Beauty and the Beast, wasn't he? Yeah. So this untitled monster movie from the Radio Silence team, we're just talking about Scream 7. I don't think that they're going to be ending up directing that unless they postpone Scream 7 for like a couple of years, which could happen due to the writer's strike. It's all possible. Okay, guys, I am going to switch up topics here, and we are going to go back into normal movie news headlines. Just a few quick things that have, just off the top here. That's pretty much all the horror stuff. All the big horror stuff. Daisy Ridley to star in high wire action thriller Cleaner, set on the side of the Shard, Western Europe tallest building. Oh yeah, okay, she's like a window cleaner or something, right? Okay, so she is getting work. People have speculated that she went back to Star Wars because she just wasn't getting offers anywhere else. She's an okay actress. She hasn't really done enough yet to establish herself as one of the elite actors, like Oscar-worthy actors, but she's competent. Cleaner from Casino Royale and GoldenEye filmmaker Martin Campbell. Okay, the timely action thriller set in present-day London will see radical activists take over an energy company's annual gala at the Shard, the tallest skyscraper in Western Europe, seizing 300 hostages in order to expose the corruption of the hosts. Their just cause is hijacked by a zealous extremist within their ranks who is ready to murder everyone in the building. So there's going to be a juicy role in there for a bad guy. Can I play the bad guy? I'll play the bad guy. I'm going to be the guy taking over everybody. I'll be giving my little speech, Yeah, I could play a good bad guy. Why not? His anarchic message to the world. It falls to an ex-soldier turned window cleaner. Oh, God, Jesus. Okay, now ex-soldier turned window cleaner, Daisy Ridley. Suspended 90 stories up. When terrorists take over the building, she's cleaning windows, and now she's like Die Hard situation, but with Daisy Ridley. Ex-soldier now turned window cleaner. I don't know about this one, guys. Arglass says maybe this Daisy Ridley movie is actually a fly-on-the-wall documentary. Too cruel. I do like her, guys, but I'm not seeing this. There's got to be an approach here that I'm not seeing. But I would love to. I'd put my hand up to play the juicy bad guy. Then it's going to go to somebody that'll be competent, but they'll be kind of like, you got to make these bad guys colorful. The situation in itself is audacious. It's absurd that a window cleaner just happens to be an ex-military person who can take out the terrorists. It's a take on the Die Hard scenario. So it's kind of like, but with Daisy Ridley, okay. We'll have to see how that first trailer turns out. Talking about Star Wars, because she's Star Wars. We know we're getting Star Wars with her, but Joel Edgerton says he owes much of his career to George Lucas for casting him in Star Wars Episode 2, which we did a full live watch along here. We watched Attack of the Clones here on the channel before reprising his role in Kenobi. My God. You got Joel Edgerton. You got Ewan McGregor. And those scenes were just like fire, man. Like, if you could have somehow kept that momentum between Joel Edgerton and Ewan McGregor there for the entirety of Obi-Wan, because that's what it should have really been about. It shouldn't have been about this Inquisitor Reva. It should have been more like those scenes pop so much because it's talking about elite actors. Joel Edgerton and Ewan McGregor are that elite, right? They are the elite, and just to see them bounce off each other was was magical, and he's humble about it too. Joel Edgerton, he's a director as well. You know, he was very young in Attack of the Clones, and that's what got his foot in the door. I wish we could see more. I would love to see more with him as Uncle Owen, raising a younger Luke. Just have like a small. It doesn't have to be like 6 episodes or anything like that. Even make it like just like like. Why can't Disney Plus do like miniseries? Like like um, 2 episodes or something, right? 2 episodes of young Luke with Owen. You can have Obi-Wan in the background somewhere show up as a cameo. Just some struggles in there, because that's what I would like to see. Because Joel Edgerton just has that. He's got that gravitas, and he's that's cool that he's humble like this, paying respects to George Lucas. I owe so much in my career to George giving me that job. It opened up the doors to Hollywood. The actor told NME. It allowed everyone in LA to kind of welcome me and go, oh, he's in Star Wars. Let's give him an audition for other things. Yeah, exactly. So he's very much like what Harrison Ford was. It's like Han Solo was kind of like his stepping stone to say, okay, now I can go out and do other projects. And he has. He's gone out. He's directed things like The Gift. Very, very creepy ending to that. He can play different levels too. He's got range. Joel Edgerton has range. And he does different genres as well too. I can't champion Joel Edgerton enough. Yeah. The writers obliged and Owen ended up fighting Riva. Yeah, well, just a cool headline. Maybe this Daisy Ridley movie is actually yeah. All right, guys, we are going to wrap things up in 15 minutes here because I do want to get my breakfast, and then we'll be watching that J-Lo movie at 1 p.m. for my time, Eastern. Some bad news here. I wasn't aware of this, and it kind of bums me out, but it seems like he's going to be on the mend. He's putting things back together. Dolph Lundgren reveals kidney cancer diagnosis. Hopes going public can save one person's life. Yeah. Apparently he just went under the knife too, where they cut out. There's I think it's a Twitter post of him saying that they cut out like a big tumor and stuff like that. Oh man. Again, it's just one of those things. And he was in good shape. He was in fantastic shape. He took care of himself, right? And it just goes to prove that even with you got everything going for you health wise, Mother Nature, the guy upstairs may have other plans for you, man. But it seems like he's been fighting it. It seems like he's been on the winning side of it. But he wants to make it public so that, it inspires other people. If you're feeling bad inside, guys, go get it checked out. And if you live in the States, I know it sucks because it costs money to go to the doctors and run tests. It costs you money. But if you live in the freer world, like Canada and somewhere in some places in Europe, it doesn't cost anything for us, right? I could go to the doctor and run all these tests, like when I had that endoscopy or whatever, when they look down into your stomach to see things, because I got really bad acid reflux, right? That didn't cost me anything. I just go to the doctors and get that signed up. I can, if I break my leg, I go to the hospital, I get that fixed, and I don't get a bill later on. I think that's what he's just trying to say. If you feel bad inside, go get it checked out, right? Because you never know, and especially when you get up there in your 40s, if something feels a little bit off and it just doesn't seem to be lingering, you got to go check it out. So he says here, quote, if you can save one person's life who was in my situation, then it's worth it for sure. As an actor, you try to put a positive emotion and positive energy into the world. And I've always tried to be nice to everyone and meet all fans, anybody, and it may come back to me somehow with that positivity. Yeah. And here's the other thing too. He seems like he's like, from statements like that, it seems like he's a stand-up dude, right? A real stand-up dude. And that just bums me out that some of us, it's real kick in the pants. I did an MRI and I found that there were a few more tumors that were around the area. I explained, yeah. The actor noted he went under surgery, which 6 tumors were removed. Again, that's the area of the body where you just sometimes you just don't know, right? Because it's kind of like you don't feel inside there. Like you may be like, oh, sorry, my back hurts a little bit today, and you think nothing of it, right? You think nothing of it, and then it's kind of like, oh, I just maybe slept wrong on it, right? But then it lingers on and on. That's when you gotta like gotta get things checked out. Anyway, I hope him good health. Dolph Lundgren, good health, and he's been in great. We should do that Universal Soldier watch along. I'm getting back in the mood to doing full live watch alongs. I was taking a bit of a pause there, but we will be doing that. Big changes coming up to the channel too. As I said, I've been thinking about changing the bar, changing the sidebars, just trying things out. Maybe we'll be trying the show at a different time of the day, maybe like in the evenings even. Maybe even in the evenings we'll try running the show. What's next? Tom Holland has been sober for over a year. Says filming The Crowded Room led him to a bit of a meltdown at home. So, The Crowded Room is an Apple TV Plus series where he plays somebody who gets bullied, and then some guy saves him from the bullies. They welcome him into his house, and then they realize inside that house that guy that saved him from the bullies was like kidnapping people or something. Amanda Seyfried is in this. But the jarring thing about this headline is that he's been sober. So was the role so tough on him that he ended up hitting the bottle? That's the thing about that disease, man. Alcoholism. It attacks. It doesn't matter what your age is, because he's 26 now. There's people like 16, 18 that are fighting it, that are stuck behind that wall of alcoholism. So I guess he had to take a break from it, right? Because I don't know if he was using it to cope. A bit of a meltdown in his personal life, and he's with Zendaya, and she's put up with that. That's good for her. At least it sounds like he reached out for help right away, though, right? That it was starting to get carried away from him. Arrested. Okay. I was seeing myself in the character, but in my personal life, Holland said. I remember having a bit of a meltdown at home and thinking, like, I'm going to shave my head. I need to shave my head because I need to get rid of this character. Okay, so he just got really involved with it to the point that it was bleeding into his real life. And that happens too. Because you just try to get into the mind frame of the character. And sometimes you're in that heat of it, and it just, you don't realize it, but a certain quirk of the character will carry with you at home in ways that you don't realize. And what I mean is that with something like, perhaps like if his character is somebody who did drink, as a coping mechanism, that trait will carry over, like at home, and be kind of like, why are you yelling at me? I don't want to go and do the garbage. I'd rather go out and go kind of thing, right? Because it's a tricky and dicey situation. And anyway, it sounds like he got himself help. That he's been sober for a year. He realized that it was getting carried away, right? So that's good. Learning about mental health and the power of it, and speaking to psychiatrists about Danny and Billy's struggles has been something that has been informative to his own life, the actor said. To recognize triggers like social media that stress him out. I have more respect and more sympathy for people who are going through mental issues. Okay, so maybe it wasn't quite the booze. It was just kind of like, but maybe the booze was kind of like a trigger for it, so he just had to lay off of it. Hey, and you know what? Your liver is probably just giving you the old thumbs up too, because eventually, for everybody, just kind of like eventually your liver just says, I'm tapping out, man. I can't handle it anymore, kind of thing, right? And you'll realize that too as you get older. You'll be kind of like you can't handle it as well as you did when you were younger. But good for him. Um, and I hope that we're getting to a place in society where making a proclamation or a declaration like this, like in the past, would be kind of like, oh no, he's been fighting it, right? Like there's been a negative kind of stigma attached to that, but no, we're slowly transforming where if you don't want to drink, then don't drink. You know, it's not like you're too wussy to do it, right? It's just that that's not part of the lifestyle that you want to have. So kudos to Tom Holland for that, getting that sorted out. I think that's inspiring. Saying that you had that struggle and that you wanted to fight it and you've been sober for that amount of time. That's also just like Dolph Lundgren is inspirational. Chris Schober says in the live chat they should have done a young Luke Skywalker limited TV series. Yeah, me totally. Oh man, Dolph is one of the good guys too. Yeah, Artglass says, yeah, he is. Dolph. Is he going to be in the next Expendables movie? The Statham. The Expendables 4 is mostly about Statham. I don't know if he's going to appear in that one or not. Let's go through the Twitter roundup, guys, and that'll round us up for today. See if any trailers dropped. I've been sore for 12 hours. Happy birthday to me, Artglass. Well, it is Friday. Yeah. Hey, and I don't knock that either. I don't knock people who are able to go out and have the occasional night of indulgence. Okay, let's see what's going on out here. Christopher Nolan on seeing Cillian Murphy for the first time. I saw a picture of you with your shaved head and your crazy eyes. No offense, I remember being stuck in your presence from that one photograph. What the heck? Is this some kind of weird bromance going on between them? Because Cillian Murphy said the other day that he said that he would he bends the knee to Christopher Nolan for putting him in all those movies. There's like a dubious romance or bromance going on there. And why is Taylor and Maddie trending here? It's better not be about my Tay-Tay. She better not have found somebody else a rebound so quickly. I want her to take some time off. I want her to find hung out alone backstage until 4 a.m. Okay, so it's just people are just trying to say, are they together or not? I want her to find somebody that she's happy with. But she just came out of like a really long relationship. Taylor Swift, I'm talking about here. Anyway, I'm digressing. Let's get back into this stuff. Okay, Halle Bailey and Jodie Benson, who voiced Ariel and Okay, so Jodie Benson voiced Ariel in the animated movie. We're at the premiere together. I appreciate her for being so warm and welcoming because she's the GOAT. It was important to get her stamp of approval. You could have at least given us the profile shot of Halle Bailey with her. Yeah. The bromance will last publicly for as long as the marketing for Oppenheimer lasts. Yeah. Hey, Scorsese has DiCaprio as his muse. Christopher Nolan has Cillian Murphy. I got no problem with it. Great actor, great director, and I'm starting to get really hyped for Oppenheimer. Going to the Little Mermaid, I was timid and shy, but like Ariel, I had to come out of my shell. I gained so much confidence and courage to speak up for what I need. I came out a different, more mature human. I feel like Ariel taught me how to find my voice, Halle Bailey says. Okay, nice, good. What else? More rehearsals, more Little Mermaid stuff. What's this? Lucas Hedges to break from acting to focus on writing. Well, You got time for it now for sure. Lucas Hedges. The teaser for Passages. Ben Whishaw and Adele somebody or other has been released. Passages. I don't even know what the heck this is about. Iris Sachs. The Mother is out. Yes, indeed. The Mother. And we will be watching that in just about an hour and 3 minutes, guys. I'm looking forward to this. I really am. Action movie wise. We need a good action movie in there. Let me just see what the parent rating is. Just in case, like it's J-Lo. She's not gonna be nude in this, guys. But there could be some other nudity in there. Mild nudity. Okay, so we'll be fine watching this movie. Profanity. Oh, the F words. This is just too much. I can't. No. Profanity doesn't bother me. Gruesomeness, violence, and gore don't bother me. It's just because we're doing it live, we got to make sure that there's going to be no nudity. I'm guessing we're probably going to get a butt shot in there of her somehow. I don't know how they're going to work it in, but there always is with J-Lo movies. Mary Mother. The epic pop melodrama follows a fictional musician, Anne Hathaway, and her relationship with an iconic fashion designer. That's Anne Hathaway? Wow. I like that. Obviously, it's a wig. It's kind of big. You guys can't see it there. It's kind of dark. God, she takes good photos. I do like Anne Hathaway. David Lowery's Mother Mary. So this is what he's going to be starting to... He just did Peter Pan and Wendy, guys. So he's going back to his darker roots because he did like the Green Knight, right? So he's going to be working with Anne Hathaway. And that's cool. Looking forward to that. Now, that's not what she's going to look like in the film. They just posted some publicity photos of them. Ryan Gosling and Cillian Murphy have called Barbie and Oppenheimer the best scripts they have ever read, respectively. Yeah. Elle Fanning was once rejected by big franchise because of social media. I didn't get a part once for something big, and it might not have just been this reason, but this was the feedback that I heard because I didn't have enough followers on Instagram. Well, she probably does now. Elle Fanning, she's a good actress, and I don't know. I liked her in the Maleficent movies. I'm just going over to my social media here, seeing if see what kind of a following she's got. Elle Fanning. 6.2 million followers. Yeah, that's a lot, but it's not like Vin Diesel, but that's respectable. I'm like 200 followers on Instagram for like years for some reason, and I consistently post. I just don't have time to figure out the algorithms for others. Like the algorithms are different for different social media platforms, so I just don't have time to deal with it all. Hannah Waddingham for Eurovision. She's in I just saw a clip for this. Where the football coach goes over to coach soccer, right? Ted Lasso. Yeah, she's in that, right? First look at Mina Massoud in Jen Wexler's horror, The Sacrifice Game. And he was Aladdin, right? So he's going to be in a horror movie, and that's a good place to end us off today because we started off with horror. We're going to end with horror. Interesting. He's got the hair that looks like there's some kind of a seance going on in the background. There's a Christmas tree there. No, it's not a seance, James. It's during a Christmas time. The Sacrifice Game. Also starring Olivia Scott Welch and Gus Kentworthy. Mina Massoud. The Sacrifice Game. Let's pull up the IMDb for that. Jen Wexler. It follows Samantha and Clara, two students who are staying behind for the holidays at their boarding school who must survive the night against uninvited visitors. So it's a home invasion, it's a strangers kind of thing storyline. It looks like Mina Massoud is going to be one of the bad guys. Chloe Levine, Gus Kentworthy, Madison Baines. No one else really jumps off the page at me here, but it's a tried and true premise. Always brings a few scares depending on how well it's executed. The Sacrifice Game. All right, guys, that's it for me today. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. Come join us Monday. There will be no horror movie news tomorrow, but we will be doing something. We may pick up with that Black Widow watch along tomorrow, because I just want to see how this fares, views wise. All right, that's it for me. Come join us in an hour to watch The Mother with Jennifer Lopez. Enjoy your weekend. You're watching Mirror Domains.